There's something really special about Joshua Tree National Park. The first time I went was in 2018. My wife and I went as a getaway right before we had our first child. We stayed in this cute Airbnb that we just fell in love with. Those warm nights and those warm days, we spent hiking and exploring the national park and resting in that Airbnb. And I remember I took a bunch of photos, as I do, and I took a couple pictures of the Airbnb itself. And as I was leaving, I remember feeling like I was leaving somewhere really special and a place that I would hope to get to come back to. I posted some of those photos on my Instagram and tagged the Airbnb in those photos. And right when we got home, the owners of the Airbnb messaged me and said, "We need you to come back and take a full set of photos and video at our Airbnb." So less than a year later, my wife, daughter, and I flew back out to Joshua Tree for the sole purpose of photographing that Airbnb. And that just continued to fuel my love for Joshua Tree. I was able to take some really, really beautiful pictures of their Airbnb, did some awesome photos and video and time lapses and all that stuff. And just like as I was there, fell in love more and more and more with that desert. Then again, felt that just like that sad pull away as we left to go back to the airport. At that point, I had been getting tattoos, just slowly working on my left arm, getting tattoos as I go, and doing kind of patchwork style stuff. And those things, the reason that I like doing patchwork and I like going kind of slow with it is because then I get story and like memory stones, if you will, of where I was at with each tattoo. Then I get to look down at my arm and see, oh yeah, I remember this was for my birthday when I turned 30. This was for whatever. And so at that point, I knew that I wanted to get a Joshua Tree tattoo. I started looking around online for inspiration, and I really couldn't find anything. I wasn't super inspired by what was online for tattoos of Joshua trees. And then we got another message from another Airbnb host, and they said, "Would you come out to Joshua Tree and do what you did for that other Airbnb?" My wife, daughter, and I flew out to Joshua Tree, and we photographed another beautiful property, spent a week there, and again, just like drawing the roots deeper in my mind that I want to get this tattoo. And I just loved the opportunities that I had to photograph for those Airbnbs. And I'd love to have more opportunities in the future. We'll see. And I remember on the first Airbnb shoot, showing the pictures to the hosts of that Airbnb and then just being moved to tears. Well, I showed them the pictures of their space that I photographed. They're like, "Nobody has captured it the way that you've captured it." And I don't say that to brag. I just say that to say the intentionality that you can put into even like architectural photography. My entire flight over to my first Airbnb shoot, I was like, why are they flying me, a guy from West Michigan, to go photograph their Airbnb in Joshua Tree? Don't they have connections in LA? Aren't there better photographers closer? And I realized in that moment when I was showing them the pictures that I took that week, that it was because of the intentionality and the care that I put into the pictures while I was there. And really that came down to my love for those spaces, my love for that desert, my love for capturing those details. Earlier this year, I got the opportunity to go back to Joshua Tree for a project for Easter and Good Friday. Went with two of my best friends, and on that trip, I finally was able to take a picture of a Joshua tree that I was like, yes, that's the tattoo. We went out to Joshua Tree twice, spent 2 evenings photographing and filming. I had my Leica SL2S and my Leica SL2, but on my SL2S I had the 14 to 24. If you want to check out the review of that, the first impressions of that lens, I'll pin it right here. I went all the way to 14 and I took this super wide angle shot of a Joshua tree at sunset with the mountains in the background, and it immediately fell in love with that photo. And I was like, that's gonna be the one that I get tattooed. I got back and I waited a while. Finally, just a few weeks ago, I got it tattooed on my forearm as a complementary piece to my saguaro cactus that is on my left arm. For me, I just love art. I love art in all forms. Obviously love photography and filmmaking. One of the things that I love about tattoos is it's permanent art on a living canvas. There's some differences between a photo and a tattoo. My artist and I workshopped how best to showcase this Joshua tree. And so he really helped me with getting it to the spot where we like it. But one of the things that I love about tattoos is that they're permanent and they're with you. And so when I look down at this Joshua tree, I think about those special times with my wife that we took that trip on. And we really just discovered that desert for the first time for ourselves, and we both fell in love with it. And I think about getting to bring my daughter there and photograph that space that we were in when she wasn't born yet, and then thinking about going for hikes on the third time and just enjoying the nature and that beautiful Airbnb with its gorgeous garden. And ultimately, I get to think back to this project as well that I worked on for my church of Easter and Good Friday, and those are all tied up into this photo, which is now on my arm forever. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and maybe I can make more videos about my experiences photographing Airbnbs in Southern California. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.